without
reclaim my
enough time.
Mr. Secretary,
and
will you
leaders
get me
do
that
everything
plan,
they can
please?
as fast as they can, and we have a plan for that.
Mr. Secretary, I reclaim my plan.
ASAP.
Chairwoman, your redirection of combat-ready troops from real-world national security threats to manage a domestic protest is gross mismanagement and a slap in the face of service members whose lives are disrupted throughout this event. As a veteran myself, it's a disgrace, and you should be ashamed. Mr. Secretary, I just got word that Senator Padilla from my great state of California was physically assaulted and arrested for attending Secretary Noem's press event. The mere fact that he showed up, he was forcibly removed. Is this how you would treat a member of Congress who attends your press event, whether invited or not?
Well, I've been here for 5 hours, sir. I don't know about that.
I'm just asking, would you have me forcibly removed from your press event
I'm not going
if I
to
walked in?
speculate on a hypothetical. I'm sure there's more context.
I'll take that as a yes. Mr. Secretary, does the DOD have any plans to allow the military to follow the orders of President Trump when his order violates the Constitution? Yes or no?
I reject the premise of that question, which is that President Trump is ordering unconstitutional orders.
I'll take that as a yes as well. Mr. Secretary, the deployment of active duty Marines to California is incredibly disruptive to the lives of service members who are being drawn into the president's publicity stunt. And I want to know how you're planning to take care of these troops. So will you commit to sending my office and this committee a detailed plan on how you plan to house and feed the 700 Marines and potentially thousands of Marines?
What's disruptive is when concrete blocks are thrown at the heads of ICE officers. And so we're proud that National Guardsmen and Marines have responded in real time to help defend those federal law enforcement officers.
So do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to house
Not only do we have a plan, but it's been a focus of mine. I've held a riot shield before in a riot. I recognize what it means to respond in real time without enough time.
Mr. Secretary, will you get me that plan,
everything they can
please?
as fast as they can, and we have a plan for that.
Mr. Secretary, I reclaim my plan. Chairwoman, LA Mayor Bass stated that the area placed under the recent curfew is around 1 square mile. Is that the same area where service members will be deployed?
Service members are in Los Angeles to defend law enforcement, ICE agents, and facilities.
So essentially you're telling me that American people and the American people that a 1 square mile block of LA, and for the record, LA County is over 4,700 square miles, warrants the deployment of 700 Marines and the federalization of 4,000 California National Guardsmen. You testified earlier that you will send in the military to protect local law enforcement. Did LAPD Police Chief McDonnell ask you for your help?
I read reports on a regular basis.
Did he ask for your help?
From ICE agents
I'll take that as a no.
More grateful.
Did LA Sheriff Luna ask for you to send in the military, Mr. Secretary? Did LA Sheriff Luna ask you to send in the military? Yes or no?
I don't work for the LA Sheriff, sir.
Well, you said you sent them in to support the military, but they didn't even ask for your, to support law enforcement, but they didn't even ask for your help. Have you been to Los Angeles in the last 7 days?
My team is from the top down focused on making sure Los Angeles
I'll also take that as a no. How did you arrive at the decision not to coordinate with local law enforcement and the governor's office on the initial deployment?
It would be great if the governor attempted to actually coordinate instead of grandstand.
All right, so I believe you're secretly deploying troops to an area without coordinating with local officials is somehow not disruptive and to the logistical and operational conditions on the ground. You agree with that?
I would need you to repeat the question, sir.
Does the department plan on coordinating with Governor Newsom's office on local law enforcement and local law enforcement going forward, Mr. Secretary?
We've coordinated with local law enforcement quite well, but the governor's been an obstruction to that, of course.
All right, Secretary Hegseth, this political stunt, and by your own admission, is expected to cost the American taxpayer at least $134 million and will disrupt the lives of hundreds and potentially thousands of active duty Marines and 4,000 National Guardsmen. That's $134 million and thousands of personnel diverted away from critical missions in the Indo-Pacific, where China is rapidly expanding from Europe, where NATO needs US support amid growing Russian aggression, and from CENTCOM, where tensions are escalating so critically that your own General Kurilla had to cancel all his testimony in Congress today. Your redirection of combat-ready troops from real-world national security threats to manage a domestic protest is gross mismanagement and a slap in the face of service members whose lives are disrupted throughout this event. As a veteran myself, it's a disgrace, and you should be ashamed. I yield back.
The gentleman's
Madam
time
Chair,
has expired.
Madam Chair, can we add into record, please, that the gentleman from California has just stated that it is okay to have 1 mile of complete criminality in LA so long as it doesn't cover the 4700.
That was not my statement.
Madam
And
Chair,
we
have,
and
we,
that
Mr.
it's
Mills,
okay.
Mr.
The
Mills has
gentleman's
not
gentleman's
been
not
recognized.
This is absolutely
Either gentleman,
absurd.
either
words in
gentleman
my
is
mouth,
recognized.
Congressman.
Have the right
Mr.
to you have not been
Chair-
recognized
Either
by
gentleman
the
is
chair.
recognized. The chair now
And neither have you.
recognizes the
Controls the time.
congressman
And neither have
from
you, Mr.
Louisiana, Mr. Higgins.
This exchange lays bare one of the most dangerous patterns we've seen creeping back into American politics, the weaponization of the military against our own people, for no other reason than to score political points. What Senator from California is pointing out is both simple and profound. We are talking about thousands of Marines and National Guard troops pulled away from actual global security missions. Missions in the Indo-Pacific where China is testing boundaries, in Europe where Russia is escalating, in the Middle East where tensions are boiling over. And instead, they're being deployed to Los Angeles. Why? To manage a protest that local officials never even asked for help with. Think about that for a moment. LA is nearly 5,000 square miles, and yet the area under curfew was only about 1 square mile. And for that tiny patch of unrest, this administration deployed 700 Marines and federalized 4,000 National Guardsmen. That is not public safety. That is political theater. And worse, it's political theater that carries a price tag of at least $134 million taxpayer dollars. That's your money and mine being wasted, while our troops, who should be focused on protecting America abroad, are yanked away for a president's publicity stunt. And here's where it gets more disturbing. The secretary flat out admitted that this wasn't coordinated with LA's mayor, the police chief, or even the governor's office. That means federal troops were moved into a major American city with little to no cooperation from local officials, essentially sidelining state and local authority. This is not only reckless, it undermines the very balance of power between state and federal government. It's authoritarian in spirit, even if dressed up as law and order. Now, let's zoom out. Using active-duty military against American citizens is one of the most extreme steps a government can take. It blurs the line between defending democracy and enforcing authoritarianism. When leaders use soldiers as stage props, they're not strengthening the nation. They're eroding trust in both civilian government and the military itself. Troops are not political tools. They swear an oath to the Constitution, not to any one politician. And that's exactly what the senator was highlighting. The secretary refused to give straight answers, dodging, deflecting, downplaying. But the bottom line is this: real national security threats are being ignored while military power is redirected inward for political optics. That is not leadership. That is dangerous incompetence. If we want to restore faith in government and protect both our democracy and our troops, we cannot allow this pattern to go unchecked. Americans, regardless of party, should be united in saying our soldiers are not pawns, our tax dollars are not for stunts, and our democracy is not for sale. And this is where I turn to you. What do you think? Should military force ever be used in this way against American citizens, especially without local approval? Or is this crossing a line that we should never tolerate? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because conversations like this are how we hold leaders accountable. And if you want more fact-based analysis cutting through the noise, make sure to subscribe to Liberal Lens. We don't just tell you what happened, we break down why it matters and what it means for our democracy.